Obviously, getting into a job role as an interactive researcher was about me working very smart and very hard, but I'm not going to ignore the fact that getting recommended was a massive help, because I know some people in this industry who have been trying to progress from runners to researchers, and still after 4 years they still haven't been able to do it, but thankfully I was able to do it after a year. So in this job role, I was responsible for researching, developing, casting and creating online content and formats for CBBC and CBeebies for YouTube, web, social and apps. Original short form ideas I created and directed include Let's Talk About. So Let's Talk About was an idea I wanted to use to highlight amazing black fathers and the relationships they share with their daughters through empowering and transparent conversations about black history, hair, family, food and cultural traditions. This piece of content was really about challenging the single narrative about absent fathers in the black community. I'm really proud of this piece of content. I remember tweeting about it last year as part of Black History Month, and it went viral-ish. Kids Explain is another series that I created, casted and directed for CBBC, and it was a series about young people explaining their favourite TV shows and terminologies that they use to their parents. This idea was about bridging the gap between the older and younger generation and just showing young people that adults can learn just as much from them, because you're never too young to teach and you're never too old to learn, and no matter how uncool you think your parents are, you can still keep it real with them. You know, you can still talk to them about your interests and things that matter to you. Car Ride Surprise is a series that I created and casted for CBeebies. It's a back to school series where I wanted to get children starting school for the first time to meet their favourite CBeebies presenters and just talk about school in a really fun, positive and motivational way, while singing along to their favourite nursery rhymes. I remember for me personally, starting school was very traumatic. My parents just dropping me off and leaving me, and just being thrown into this new world that I'd never experienced before. So I thought, do you know what, if I can make 4-year-olds around the UK going to school for the first time, if I can help their experience of going to school feel a little less traumatic and more memorable and fun, then this is the piece of content to do it, and that's how it was born. So the series included working with presenters Andy Day and JB Gill. It made the BBC homepage, and overall the series had over 1 million views. Not bad. First Last Scroll is a format I created for CBBC, and it's a games format used as a vehicle for fans to find out a bit more about their favourite celebrity or influencer. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I let you into a little secret that developing this format actually reduced me to tears. I was literally like, oh my gosh, like for ages and ages and ages I wrote down so many different ideas and nothing seemed to feel unique or fresh. I did my research and it kind of felt like everything around phones and game formats and interview styles had been done to death. So I was literally like pulling my hair out thinking, what can I do that feels fresh and different? And then it came, tears were over, and I was like, I can literally quit my job now. Thank you, next. Hashtag No Stress was a cypher and a one-off special that I co-wrote, co-directed, created and did second camera on for CBBC. I came up with this idea for CBBC's back to school season, and it's called No Stress because at the time I found a piece of research which said that amongst boys and girls around the UK who are 9 to 16, 79% of them felt stressed or anxious about going back to school. So I really wanted to create a piece of content that inspired young people and encouraged them not to get stressed out or worried or anxious about going to school. I had so much fun working on this shoot. I played so many different roles, from songwriting, I wrote all of the singers' parts and sent them demos beforehand so that they could learn them. I co-directed the shoot, I helped to shoot a second camera and had a great time working with the talent. So we had actresses Jade Allen, Misha Eckersley and Birmingham music artist Lady Sanity. Ironically, the setup of this shoot was stress, honestly, from casting the talent to setting up the shoot. All sorts of problems went wrong on the day, but a learning curve for me is that it taught me how to be flexible and adaptable. I had to rewrite the song on the day due to being one artist down, but it all worked out in the end. Kids Bop Sing or Say, this was an interview Q&A format idea that I came up with for CBBC. I didn't want to do the traditional style of Q&A and thought this was a really fun and exciting way to do it. So I self-shot this piece, directed and edited it. I'm currently based at BBC Three, where I've been for the last 10 months as a development researcher. So how did I get into this job role? First of all, shout out to my homegirl Glory, who actually sent me this job role. Glory is a super talented graphics designer who I worked with in BBC Children's in the development team. It was honestly so timely because I was, you know when you get that kind of itch because you're ready for your next challenge, you're ready to work in somewhere new, somewhere fresh, meet new people. That's the kind of phase that I was in, and when she sent me this job I thought, right, this is me. So not to brag or anything, but I genuinely believe I have the best job role in the world. As a development researcher, my main responsibility is to create, pitch and develop new and original TV shows, short form content and formats for BBC Three. Over the period of 9 months, I've actually won 3 series commissions, which I've been told by some of my colleagues are the first series to actually come out of the BBC Three Birmingham team. So I'm really happy to have achieved this in such a short amount of time. My Mate's a Bad Day is the first series that I pitched for BBC Three. Before I joined the team, it was actually another idea with a completely different format, a different title, and it had actually been pitched twice but never made it through the commissioning round. So when I joined the team, I was asked to develop this, including revising the format, changing the title to what it is now, and writing a new treatment for it to pitch to the TV commissioner. I ended up taking it back into the commissioning round. It was the first time that I'd ever pitched to a TV commissioner in my life, so it's pretty scary, but honestly it was an amazing experience, and the idea got commissioned in December 2018, so really massive achievement. It's a dating advice series where someone nominates a friend who they believe has bad dating habits and just needs help getting their dating game all the way together. So this friend gets seen by a relationship expert, they undergo a digital detox, they even get to go on real life dates where they get rated and tested to see whether or not they are a good or bad date. No Offence But is a social series and the second idea that I created, pitched and had commissioned for BBC Three in January 2019. It's where young people get to air their unapologetic views and opinions on topics that matter to them. This idea was really about shaking up BBC Three content to bring in both conservative and liberal views side by side. I really like to take bold risks sometimes, and I really wanted to create real debate where people agree to disagree. And at the time, I honestly thought this is a series that I really want people to learn fresh perspectives and get peed off to an extent. So far, it's done really well and it's returning for a second series, and I'm really happy to say that the first run of episodes have amassed over 1 million views. I absolutely loved working on the pilot for this, and big massive shout out to people like Vital and Cassandra Maria, who I also used in the pilot for this. It's one thing to have a great idea, but it's another thing to actually have amazing people who can really bring it to life. My third idea is a reality TV show which I had commissioned in June. I'd say looking back over the last 5 years and seeing how much I have grown and evolved into the creative I am today is truly a testimony for other young women entering this industry. Yeah, I'm still technically in a junior role by title, but one thing that I've never done is allowed my job title to define the contribution that I can bring, and because of my determination, because of my persistence, I've been able to sit in front of TV commissioners and pitch my own ideas myself. Now, in any other normal scenario, it's usually the producers and maybe the assistant producers that have the opportunity to do this. So what I'm saying to you is, it can be done. At a researcher level, I've done this at a researcher level. I've been able to win series commissions. Now, I don't say this to impress you, but to impress upon you exactly what you are capable of achieving when you put your mind to it. I find that a lot of people want to work in TV development, and some people think it's just about coming up with a great idea and getting it commissioned, but you're wrong. Like, there's a whole process and strategy that goes into it, and There really is a science behind making good TV, and I probably might do a separate video on this actually, just to break down, you know, how we come up with formats, how we take an idea from a seed of an idea through to pitch. There really is a whole process that people don't know about. Honestly, I am so thankful to God that I have achieved so many of my career goals in such a short amount of time, from being a BBC children's TV presenter, getting TV shows commissioned, being able to champion talent from black and ethnic majority groups, being able to shine a light on Birmingham talent, and also getting to create pipelines for more young women, especially who look like me, and help them to get a foot in the door. That's really important. Listen, I am the girl from Brom, the one that was told by her primary school teacher that she would be a cleaner, the one who was called every single horrible name underneath the sun as a child. But let me tell you something, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, and trust me, I'm just getting started. Honestly, thank you to everyone who has been on this journey with me. I can't wait to introduce you to some of my industry friends and maybe my crazy family at some point. But for now, thank you for listening, and keep it not your average. You know how we do. Oh God.